Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have week 3 of the NGDL4 versus Dark. We have battled once before in the past. He is actually standing in for the guy who I was supposed to be playing this week because I guess he was too busy to have the battle or whatever. So looking at the team, it is very strong and well balanced. Nothing I wasn't expecting knowing the full draft lineup. Of course, he does have the Yveltal, which is Uber, which is going to be an interesting matchup versus my own Uber Xerneas. And going into this match, we are actually 1-1, so pretty critical turning point to try and get some momentum back here this week. It should definitely be a really tough match, so we are going to get into it. So looking at the team preview, I wasn't sure what he was going to want to lead with. He definitely has a few good choices there, but he actually ends up leading with the Yveltal straight away, as I just decided to lead with my Incineroar. So his Dark Aura is going to come into play right away, as I'm going to get the Intimidate to lower his attack. Probably not going to matter since he is more than likely a special attacker. So turn 1, I'm just going to go for the Fake Out to get some chip damage on this thing and the mandatory flinch, which I do get. And this turn I am going to go for the switch. I don't want to take any damage on my Incineroar this early, so I'm going to come in with my Goodra, as he actually just goes for the Substitute to go ahead and get that set up on me. So this turn he is going to go for the Roost actually as well, to go ahead and put himself back up to full health, which is definitely not good for me. But I am just going to go ahead and hit him with a Thunderbolt, just hoping to break the sub here, even though it's not super effective because he lost the flying type. It is enough to break the sub, so that was good for me. So he is going to go for the switch this turn, knows he's not going to outlast me at this rate, so he is going to switch in with the Palossand, predicting another Thunderbolt, which I do go for, so not going to do anything there. So I am going to go for a Muddy Water this turn. I am carrying it this week, so that is going to knock him down to about a quarter, but he does survive. It is going to trip his Water Compaction ability to increase his defense, but that is okay since I'm purely special. So he actually goes for the Stealth Rock just to get that entry hazard set up on me. So this turn he is going to go for the switch, doesn't want to lose the Palossand just yet, so he's going to come in with the Muck, as I did just go for a Draco Meteor just in case he decided to switch, trying to nail whatever he throws in. So that is going to take this thing down by about a third, which was not too bad, but thinking it might be Assault Vested since it could have done more otherwise. So I do have to switch out here with my special attack partially lowered. I am going to come in with the Aggron and take some damage from the rocks, as he does go for a Rock Tomb, which isn't going to do much of anything to me damage-wise, but it is going to lower my speed, which is not good actually. So he is going to switch out once again back into the Palossand, and of course I'm just going to go for the Mega Evolution into Mega Aggron. And I'm just going to take this opportunity to go ahead and set up my own Stealth Rock, since that does do more damage to his team than it does to mine, so that is good for me. But this turn I do have to switch out here because thanks to the speed drop, I'm not sure whether or not I'll outspeed this thing, so I don't want to risk it. I'm going to switch in with my Jellicent and take some damage from the rocks as he just goes for the Shore Up, which will restore him back up to almost full health, unfortunately. Then I am going to regain some health of my own with the Leftovers. So this turn he is going to go for the switch, doesn't want to take a water attack from me, so he is going to switch in with the Silvally Steel, and he is going to take some damage from the rocks as I do go for the Scald here, trying to get some damage on whatever he leaves in a potential burn. So I actually do end up getting the burn, which was pretty nice. And then I'm going to regain more health with the Leftovers as he is going to take some damage from the burn. So this turn he is going to go for the Defog, and of course that is going to get rid of the rocks on both sides of the field. I guess he was thinking that the rocks would do more damage to him than they would to me. Unfortunately, here I just go for a Toxic, predicting a switch, so he does get a free turn there. Not going to do anything to him, as I do regain the rest of my health with the leftovers, and he takes more damage from the burn. So this turn I am going to go for the switch back into my Aggron, and I am going to not get Toxic since I am immune to that, and he's going to take more damage from the burn. So he is going to go for the Parting Shot this turn, which is of course going to drop my attack and special attack, but he is also going to get the mandatory switch, and off of that he is going to come back in with the Yveltal, as I am just going to take this opportunity to go for the Stealth Rock once again, to go ahead and get that hazard set up on him, since it is very good against his team. So I am going to go for the switch this turn. I don't want to take a special attack from this thing, since I am physically defensive with Aggron, so I'm going to come back in with the Goodra, as he just goes for the substitute once again to try and get that setup going on me. So he is going to hit me with the Oblivion Wing this turn, but I am Assault Vested, and Goodra is very specially defensive, so that is not going to do much of anything to me there. It is going to give him a little bit of HP back as well, but I'm just going to go for a Thunderbolt once again to break the substitute, which I will definitely do since it is super effective. So this turn, he is going to go for the switch once again, knows he's not going to outlast the Goodra with the Yveltal, so he is going to come in with the Silvally and take some damage from the rocks, and I am just going to go for the Thunderbolt here. So that will take him down to about a quarter health, and then he is going to take more damage from the burn. So he is going to outspeed me this turn. He is just going to go for the Defog once again. Really doesn't want those Stealth Rocks up on his side of the field, so he is going to get rid of that. But fortunately, that is going to allow me to capitalize by hitting this thing with a Flamethrower, and that will be more than enough to finish off the Silvally and drop him down to 5 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with Muck, and once again, that is going to force me to switch out. This thing is very specially defensive, and I do want to conserve Goodra, so I'm going to come back in with my Aggron, as he actually double switches me here, anticipating my switch. He is going to come back in with the Palo-Sand. So I decided here just to go for the Stealth Rock, since his Defogger is down. I do want to get that set back up on his side of the field, since it does do a lot of damage to his team. He is just going to go for the Earth Power straight away, which does knock me down to 31 health, but I do survive. And this turn I am just going to go for an Iron Head, trying to get some chip damage on this thing. Doesn't do a whole lot, as he actually goes for the Toxic, probably anticipating a switch on my side, so not going to do anything there. I do hit him with another Iron Head this turn. I actually take him to the red with a critical hit, but he does survive and actually goes for the Shore Up once again, which will heal him all the way back up to about 2/3 health. So I am actually going to go for the switch this turn. I was originally planning on sacking off the Aggron, but I decided to save it for fodder at this point, knowing he'll go for the Shore Up again. So I do switch into the Jellicent and get a free switch, because he does just go for the Shore Up once again to put himself back up to full health. So he is going to go for the switch here, doesn't want to take a water attack from me, so he is going to come in with the Yveltal once again, and he is going to take damage from the rocks, and the Dark Aura will come back into play once again, as I do just go for the Toxic here, trying to land that on whatever he decided to leave in. That is going to badly poison the Yveltal, which is obviously great for me. Try and wear this thing down, since it is very bulky. So he's going to take some damage from the poison there, and he is actually going to go for a Roost this turn to go ahead and put himself back up to full health there, as I do just go for the Ice Beam here, not wanting to let him get any sort of setup. So he is going to take some more damage from the poison, as the Ice Beam didn't do too much damage to him there. So this turn he is going to go for the switch, doesn't want to take any more damage on the Yveltal, so he is going to switch in with the Vaporeon and take some damage from the rocks, as I do go for the switch of my own directly back into my Goodra. So he is going to regain some health from the leftovers here. But this is a pretty good matchup for me. I am faster than this thing, so I am just going to go for the Thunderbolt, which will take this thing to about half, as he is going to go for a Heal Bell to go ahead and cure the poisoning there on the Yveltal, just trying to keep that thing healthy. And then he does regain more health with the Leftovers. So this turn, he is going to go for a Protect just to stall out another turn of Leftovers recovery, maybe see what I want to do. I just go for another Thunderbolt straight away, so not going to do anything there, as he does regain more health with the Leftovers. So, once again, I am just going to go for a Thunderbolt, trying to deal as much damage as possible to this thing. Worst case scenario, he tries to go back into the Palo Sand, but I can take care of that thing with a Muddy Water again. So, he actually just stays in and goes for the Wish to get some health restoration for a Pokemon next turn, as he does regain more health with the Leftovers. And, of course, this turn he is going to Protect once again to make sure the Wish does resolve, as I do go for a Draco Meteor just in case he decided to switch. So the Wish is going to put him back up to almost full, and after the Leftovers recovery as well, almost back up to full there, which is unfortunate. But he is going to go for the switch this turn, probably realizes he's not going to get anywhere in this stall-out battle with Goodra, so he is going to switch back into the Muck and take more damage from the rocks, as I do just go for the Thunderbolt once again. So that will take him down to about a quarter health. And then this turn I just decide to go for the Draco Meteor straight away, hoping it will be enough damage to take this thing out. Not sure if it will or not from that range, but I am max special attack, so indeed that is going to be enough to take out the Muck and drop him down to 4 Pokemon, as I do have my special attack harshly lowered as well. So then he is going to come back in with the Yveltal and take more damage from the rocks. And so with my special attack harshly lowered, I really don't have any choice but to switch out here. So I am going to switch back into my Aggron as fodder at this point, as he just goes for the Roost to go ahead and heal up back to almost full once again, unfortunately. So this turn, he is going to go for the Substitute, just to go ahead and get that set up once again, trying to keep it. But I am just going to go for the Thunder Punch straight away, which will be more than enough to break the sub there. Really just trying not to let him have that, which is working out so far. So he is forced to go for the Dark Pulse this turn to go ahead and finish off my Aggron, which he does. That will drop me down to 5 Pokemon, but that is okay. I am just going to come in now with my Xerneas, and my Fairy Aura is going to come into play. So we do have the battle of X versus Y here, but only for a moment, since he realizes there is no shot of coming out on top for him in that situation. So he is going to switch back into the Vaporeon and take damage from the rocks, as I do go for a Moonblast here. I am max special attack, so that is going to hit this thing all the way down into the red, but he does survive, and then he will take regain some more health with the Leftovers. So he is going to go ahead and Protect once again here, just to try and scout me, see what I want to do. But I did actually anticipate the Protect there, and I do go for the Calm Mind, which is going to give me that special attack, special defense increase there. So trying to set up on him, which I do have a pretty nice setup there. So I'm just going to go for another Moonblast here. It will definitely be enough to take this thing out from that range. So that's it for the Vaporeon, and that will drop him down to 3 Pokemon. So looking pretty good there for me, as he does come in with the Victini now and take some damage from the rocks. He is going to outspeed me here, and he is going to go for the V-Create straight away. And here he actually ends up getting a crit, which was pretty unfortunate. I'm not sure if it mattered or not, depending on his spread or my spread, but that will be enough to one-shot kill my Xerneas, unfortunately, and drop me down to 4 Pokemon. So then I am going to come back in with my Incineroar and get the Intimidate to lower his attack. So he is going to go for the switch here. His defenses are lowered thanks to the V-Create, so he won't be able to survive a Dark Attack from me. So he is going to come back in with the Palo Sand and take more damage from the rocks, as I do go for the Darkest Lariat. He actually is carrying the Culber Berry to weaken the damage from a Dark Attack. So that is only going to take him down to about 2/3 there. But that is okay. I know I'm definitely going to outspeed him here, so I'm just going to go for that Darkest Lariat once again. And that is going to be enough this time around to take out Palo Sand and drop him down to 2 Pokemon. So then he is going to come back in with Yveltal and take more damage from the rocks, and of course get the Dark Aura coming back into play there once again. And he is going to go for the Roost here, just to go ahead and try to keep this thing healthy once again. And that is going to put him back up to almost full, but I am just going to go for the Flare Blitz here, trying to get as much damage as possible on this thing. That will take it down pretty much right back where it was, as I do take some recoil damage as well. So this turn he is going to go for another Roost, just trying to heal up once again. We'll put him back up to almost full once again, as I just decided to go for the U-turn here because he lost the flying typing. It is actually super effective, which was really nice. That hits him back down to about a third, and I do get the mandatory switch, so off of that I will come back in with the Goodra. So once again, he is just going to go for the Roost, trying to stall me out, trying to heal up. Again, that will put him back up to almost full health, as I do go for the Thunderbolt once again, which will hit him down to about 2/3. So this turn he decides to go ahead and bust out the Z move on the Yveltal, which turns out to be the Dark Z move, which is of course going to be the Black Hole Eclipse. So we know this is coming off of Dark Pulse and boosted by Dark Aura as well, so it will do massive damage, but Goodra is insanely specially defensive with an Assault Vest. I am going to live that with about a third of my HP and hit him with a Thunderbolt, which will knock him to the red, but he just barely survives, unfortunately, which will let him go for another Roost this turn, and this one will put him back up a little over half, but I decide this time to go ahead and go for the Draco Meteor, hoping that it will be enough from that range to take this thing out, and I actually end up getting a crit here. I don't know if it mattered based on our spreads, but that is going to take out the Yveltal and drop him down to just 1 Pokemon, so Goodra putting in the finest of work in this one here. So finally, he is going to come back in with the Victini and take more damage from the rocks, as he is going to go for the Bolt Strike. I'm guessing he's choice item and had to lock himself into something, but Goodra is not going to go down that way. It does survive with 2 HP in the red, which is amazing. He does trip my Gooey ability to lower his attack 2, or speed 2, I should say, but I do end up missing the Muddy Water here, which does suck for me. I can't capitalize on that epic 2 HP survive, so he just is going to hit me with one more Bolt Strike, which will be more than enough to finish off my Goodra this time around, but he is going to trip the Gooey once again to lower his speed, which is great for me. So I do lose Goodra. That knocks me to 3 Pokemon, but that's okay. I am going to come in with my Cinccino. I will definitely outspeed this thing after 2 speed drops, so I am going to hit him up with a knockoff, and that will be enough to take out the Victini, and that is game. So I won that one 3-0 against Dark, but that was a really good match. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.